Good evening and Ramadan Kareem. Welcome to our newsroom for the English news edition, the top stories. At the National Assembly, a conference of presidents focused on the import and the use of aircraft with no passengers. Now, the international news, the word is made after the announcement of Donald Trump's.
Under the chairmanship of the Mr. Muhammad Ali Hamad, the conference of the Presidents of the National Assembly was held yesterday in the premises of the Parliament. During this conference, the government was represented by the Prime Minister, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Muhammad, and the Minister of Defense responsible for relations with the Parliament, Mr. Ali Hassan Bahdoun. Different personalities have taken part in the meeting, including the President of the Defense Commission, the Action Chairman of the Commission of Foreign Affairs, the Acting Chairman of the Finance Committee, the Acting Chairperson of the Commission of Legislation, as well as Chairpersons of the parliamentarian groups. The Conference of Presidency looked on the transmission to the competent Standing Committee of the Tariff Law on the regulation of the import and the use of aircraft traveling without a person on board. The conference therefore decided to submit the Tariff Act to the Commission of Legislation, which will be held on Sunday, 4 June 2017. Finally, the conference subsequently stopped the date of 7 June 2017 for the organization of the preliminary in order to pass the bill mentioned above, as well as the Tariff Law and 188 on ratification of the loan agreement for the project to support the strengthening of the skills in the health sectors, which has been examined by the Commission of Foreign Affairs.
With other national news, and the Minister of Health, Dr. Jamal Al-Mouki, has received yesterday a donation composed of medical beds and equipment, as well as office automation tools provided by the NGO Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum for the humanitarian charity of United Arab Emirates. The Minister has received this gift from the hands of the Secretary General of the local association Dawat al-Islam, which is one of the charities working in Djibouti. This initiative reflects the fraternal relations and the fruitful cooperation that exists between the Republic of Djibouti and the United Arab Emirates. The ceremony was held at the headquarters of the department in presence of the Secretary of State for Social Affairs, Mrs. Muna Osman Aden, the Secretary General of the Association Dawat al-Islam, Aden Mumin Aden, but also senior managers of the Department of Health. The Minister of Health, Jamal Al-Mouki, has recalled the importance of this generous gesture by the NGO Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, in noting that it will contribute to improve the performance of the institutions of health in Djibouti. In turn, the Secretary General of the local association Dawat al-Islam has expressed its thanks and gratitude to the Minister of Health to accept this donation, in stressing that they will continue their efforts to accompany the efforts of the department to respond to the needs of the population in the field of health.
On the location of the holy month of Ramadan, the Minister of Health, Dr. Jamal Al-Mouki, and all of his personnel have carried out yesterday afternoon an operation for the remission of food products to more than 1,000 personnel of the Department of Health. The Minister of Health and the whole of the staff of the health have made a gift of an important package of food, compounds of bags of flours, bags of rice, oil and dates, which have been distributed to the staff in the department. It is the compound of the Minister of Health that the food has been distributed by the Minister of Health. This operation of charity has the objective to contribute to the consultation of links between the personnel of the Department of Health and to promote the spirit of mutual assistance and solidarity, which has indicated the Minister of Health during the ceremony of distribution.
In the night of June the 1st, a boat from Aden arrived at the international airport port of Djibouti. This boat was carrying 124 passengers, whose 59 men, 31 women and 3 children, and 9 members of the crew, all of Yemeni nationality. In the light of the international sanitary regulation, which provides control of the border, all maritime transport, air transport, and road transport coming from a third country, and more particularly the neighboring countries, and knowing that this country knows of epidemics on its territory, it is in concern to protect the population of Djibouti of a possible epidemic. The Minister of Health has sent medical teams from the Service of Diseases Control. These medical teams intervene to see the state of health of all passengers, to check and disinfect the different compartments of the vessel.
In the framework of the preparations for the great pilgrimage to the Holy Mecca, and with a view to meet the appointment condition to the Djiboutian pilgrims to the properly accomplish their duties in all serenity and tranquility, the Minister of Muslim Affairs and Culture, Momin Hassan Bare, has on a working visit to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Today in Mecca, the Minister of the Hajj and the Umrah, Dr. Muhammad Saleh bin Tahir Bintan. This meeting was held in the presence of our ambassador in Riyadh, Edin Mubakram, the advisor of the Minister, Mr. Shuaib Adjal, the Director General of Waqaf and Goris, Mr. Ilmi Noura Jama, and the Director of Muslim Affairs, Aslal Abdullah Ahmed. During this meeting, the Minister has thanked his counterparts for the facilities that the Department of the Hajj plays for the Djiboutians pilgrims, as well as the establishments responsible to offer the benefit of service throughout the period of the Hajj. The Minister has also greeted the effort deployed each year by the government of the seventh of the 2 holy places to satisfy the pilgrims coming from the 4 corners of the world. The Minister requested the increase of the quota of the Djibouti in order to be able to meet the increased demand of citizens wanting to go the Holy Mecca. The Minister of the Hajj has promised to see these issues and to grant a required increase according to the standards adopted in the Kingdom. At the end of this meeting, the Minister has renewed its appreciation and congratulated to the Minister of the Hajj in Saudi Arabia for the warm welcome which it has been received.
During his working visit to Saudi Arabia, the Minister of Muslim Affairs, accompanied by our ambassador in Riyadh, senior executives of the department, visited the factory of manufacture of the kiswat of the Holy Kaaba. The minister has been welcomed by the director of the factory, Mr. Muhammad bin Abdullah, who explained the different stages of manufacturing of kiswat in this plant built in 1975. This delegation of Djibouti has visited the workshops to see the impressive work of which large part is done manually to prepare for the fabric of black silk which covers the Kaaba in Mecca, and which is adorned with the mid-high of a calligraphy of the profession of Muslim faith and Quranic verses embroidered in gold wires. It is to be recalled that the coverage of Kaaba is changed each year during the month of Dhul Hijjah of the Muslim calendar, date which corresponds to the beginning season of the great pilgrimage at the holy places of Islam.
The Minister of Decentralization, Mr. Hamadou Mohamed Aramis, has organized yesterday evening a collective folk tour at the Sheraton for the benefit of the participants in the workshop of restoration of the milestone reports carried out by the mission of technical support to the implementation of the road map of the decentralization. Many officials have participated in the folk tour, including the Minister of Education, Mr. Mustafa Mohamed, the Mauritanian experts on the decentralization, the staff of the Ministry of the Decentralization, and participants who have came from the regions to participate in the workshop. It was a time of joy and sharing for the participants who have shared together a strong moment of Ramadan, the rupture of the fasting. The minister wanted to share this moment with all the participants in the workshop of restitution.
The caravan of independence at the pace of Ramadan, it remains in the past few weeks, the large arteries in popular neighborhoods of the capital to animate, inform and raise the awareness of the population of the benefit of the independence and the difficulties in which we had obtained it. However, it has organized in each place of passage a musical evening and entertaining retracing the history of the country. As well, yesterday evening, this caravan, controlled by the National Committee in charge of organization of the festivities for the 40th anniversary of independence, in collaboration with the association Glimmer of Hope, has camped at the public plaza in history of Ombuli. The inhabitants of Ombuli are releasing ground for hosting and participating in this long-awaited event and both hoped. After the music in the Qasaid, elders were called on the stage to make a precious reminder on the lives of the personalities, as well as on highlights that triggered the fight for independence, a reminder enriching and emotional which has been for many of the youth participants discovery. After having conquered the capital, the caravan will soon continue to the regions of the interior, starting by Arta very soon.
In the framework of the fight against the illicit traffic in trucks, the gendarmerie of the Wea and those of the Bikadus North have intercepted a truck trailer unloading 3 sacks at Bikadus in the evening of 1 June 2017 to 21 hours. After audits, the gendarmerie have found that the packs question contained the product of narcotic drugs evaluated at 6 kilograms. The author was immediately arrested and placed in custody at the Gendarmerie Brigade of Bikadus North. He will be presented shortly before the stars. The gendarmerie of the Brigade of Bikadus North looking for a pick-up of color white or grey registered TT who was the truck side concern and who has taken the leak in the light of the gendarmerie.
And now on the news outside the country, President Donald Trump has announced his decision to pull the United States out of the landmark Paris climate deal. Speaking at the White House Thursday afternoon, Trump said he will cease implementation of the 2015 Paris Agreement, which called for the U.S. to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions, but he also said its administration will begin fresh negotiations to possibly re-enter a global climate deal of some sort. World leaders react with anger and defiance after President Donald Trump announced that the United States, the world's second biggest carbon emitter, was quitting the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement led by Germany's Angela Merkel and France Emmanuel Macron. They branded Trump's decision as misguided and vowed to defend an accord they portrayed as crucial for the future of the planet. Leading greenhouse gas emitter Beijing on Friday promised to uphold the pact, while European Commission Chief Jean-Claude Juncker said there could be no backsliding on the deal. And that's it for tonight's news. Thanks for joining us on RTD. Have a good night.